Hello, my name is Doni Glover. We'd like to welcome you to the show. Two dynamic interviews with two dynamic men right here in the greater Baltimore area. And of course, we have the boss ladies of Baltimore with Saida Spinner. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Doni Glover Show, BMoreNews.
Well, I'd like to welcome you back to the Doni Glover Show. For the record, we are at the Chill Spot. You see all of this beautiful surroundings, owned by Jackie Cummings, the boss of 25th Street. She calls it Black Wall Street. But today we're going to talk with Kedrick of Georgia Peach. Hi, Kedrick, how are you?
Thanks for inviting me.
You weren't expecting the TV show, huh?
No, I wasn't.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Tell us about Georgia Peach.
It's a quick service restaurant. We have one in Morgan State University on the campus in Northwood Shopping Center. We have one in Owings Mills, and we have one in Woodlawn on Security Boulevard. We've been in business for about 12 years so far, so we're doing pretty well.
How is it? How is business?
It's doing pretty well, man, considering the economy. The community is really supporting us, and I'm blessed.
You know, at my 60th birthday celebration, we honored caterer extraordinaire Jimmy Britton.
Yeah, it's my guy.
And Jimmy Britton told me to tell you that he had to go back for a second piece of your fried chicken.
Well, that's a compliment.
Yeah, it is, because Jimmy doesn't just hand out compliments.
Yeah.
What's so good about your chicken?
I don't know. I'm biased, you know. We sell a lot of it, and the spices, the ingredients, but I can't tell you what that is, you know. But you know, it's more than just chicken. We sell salmon, we sell catfish, we sell pork chops, ribs, all kind of things, you know. But I don't know.
What was the toughest of the 12 years? What was the toughest year?
The first 5 years.
The first 5?
The first 5 years. Because, you know, when you're working with a minimum amount of money to start it, you know, nobody want to talk to you, nobody want to give you a shot. As soon as you start generating income and start making some real money, then all of a sudden everybody's your friend, they want to help you, and all of a sudden money comes from wherever. But I guess you have to prove yourself, so, you know, we're doing well.
I always say that McDonald's #1 product is not hamburgers, it's real estate.
Right.
Have you found such to be true, having 3 different properties?
You know, each store gets better. So the first store, you know, it was a baby, it was new, a new market. So you learn. It's like, I guess, you having your first child. And by the time you get your second child, you say, okay, I'm used to this one. By the time you get the third one, it's up and running. So our third store is actually our business. We're doing pretty well.
And they say that good help is hard to find. Who was the lady who helped me with my 60th?
That's Ray. She's been with me for 12 years. I don't have a high turnover rate, though.
Please put a plug in for Ray, because
Chef
she
Ray.
was very, Chef Ray, she was very conscientious.
Was the food good?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't even get any.
Oh, man, that's
They took it all.
Oh, but you gave me a nice check, though, so I appreciate that.
I believe in paying. We have to invest. What do you think about that? I mean, you look at Liberty Road and how much annual disposable income we have, how we will go to hip hop fried chicken, and no, I'm not plugging the Pakistanis, not knocking them.
I think that
But they stole your name, though. They stole our hip hop culture name.
Yeah,
Hip hop from Baltimore, New York.
Yeah, I think the problem, in my opinion, is really us, man. And what I mean by that, like, when I go into, for example, if I make a mistake with my company, with my business with you, all right, I accept that. But I think people have to realize that it's so hard for black businesses just to be able to open the doors, you know?
I know.
So I think we're really tough on us, you know? But you'll go to these little whatever places that you just mentioned. And
McDonald's been messing our food up for years, and we go right back
you
there.
go right back there. And then you look on the other. We always go on the opposite side of the counter. We're not collecting the money. We're always giving the money. So if you go to this Hip Hop Chickens or these other places, whatever, they're selling our culture.
Yeah.
And then they, you don't even know what zip code they're living in. So they, they're making money off us, selling our product, and not even giving us an employment. So that's where I take a little offense to. But I think, the community just totally supported me. They treat me like family. So it's more than just money to me,
And you come from a family of entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah. I've been in restaurant business for 30 years. Long story. But last 12 years, very good. We're doing well.
Who in your family do you get it from? Ancestors?
My grandmother.
Who's your grandma?
Shirley Ball.
We know her.
Yeah.
No, we know her.
Oh, she's that lady. She's that girl. She's owned a liquor store for like 50 years, and that's where we learned about business. And,
Where was the liquor store?
it's in the Fairmont Avenue. Fairmont Avenue, or Franklintown in Baltimore.
Okay, on the west side.
We just sold it. She just sold it about 6 years ago. Yeah, and actually she just passed. So.
God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Do you think you are fulfilling her legacy? Did she want to see business carried on?
My brother and I, we do millions of dollars, and to come from where we come from like, man, we them. You know what I'm saying? So for us to give.
Now, come on, give us a snippet.
We doing well.
East side, west. No, where you started?
We're from West Side, man. I'm from West Side.
Okay.
And it's good, man.
What keeps you going every day?
My grandmother, my spirit, the people, the money. I'm not gonna lie to you. The being able to be the underdog, and I'm really low key, but being able to be the underdog without saying, I told you, because you're gonna take some setbacks, and I think those setbacks really helped me, though, to be honest with you.
Good stuff. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I just appreciate you just, even considering me to come over here and have a talk with you, because this is all new to me.
That's what we're supposed to do. That's what Black Wall Street is.
I appreciate it, man.
If there was a time when we helped our neighbors out. You had a cup of flour, I had a cup of sugar, and you help each other.
Yeah, we have probably over 45 employees, so I probably spend $35,000 a week just in payroll. So we really getting it in.
We're proud of you, Kedrick.
All right, thank you, man.
Keep doing what you're doing.
All right, take it easy, man. Good.
We're going to take a pause, and we're going to come back on the other side and talk with Kevin Shird. That's right, we got the one and only Kevin Shird right here on the Doni Glover Show. Stay tuned.
At Fulton Bank, we're personally invested in every community we serve. So sometimes we're big in small ways, like finding a way to get Crystal and Dan a mortgage before the baby arrived. Other times we're small in big ways, like local decision-making and financial coaching that helped Fernando open his own shop. Fulton Bank, a community bank that's big and small in all the right ways.
I was very fortunate and blessed to be able to purchase a house, and then in the meantime, walk into quite a bit of equity. Thank you so much, Calvin. You've been a blessing. I really, really have appreciated everything that you have done to, help me along on this journey, because I just believe that God orders our steps, and I'm just grateful that He brought you into our lives. That's it.
We'd like to welcome you to the Doni Glover Show. Our next guest is the one and only author of Poor Choices and Unresolved Trauma is Killing America, A Life for Life by Mr. Kevin Shird. How are you, big brother?
Thanks, brother. Absolutely.
And thank you for supporting my business. That's why we had to bring you on, because that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, that's easy though, man.
It's easy for you.
Yeah.
Kev, is not easy for all of us. We see each other in business and we get stingy. And you weren't like that. And big ups to the people who made sure we stayed connected.
Yeah, for sure.
Including Cynthia Todd. I don't want no smoke from that lady.
I don't want to.
Tell us about it, A Life for a Life.
This is a project I spent 10 years writing. I spent 10 years working on this book. I was actually writing this book while I was writing 2 other books, right? And one book on civil rights, one book on just my life growing up in Baltimore. And I would shift from one project to another depending on how I felt that day, right? Writing about the traumatic circumstances sometimes it can weigh on you, right? But it took me 10 years to finish this project.
Kev, I spent all of 3 days in Baltimore City Jail. I saw the sign. I was about 16 years old. It said, "Never again." And but by the grace of God, for the most part, I ain't saying some things didn't happen, but 3 days, that was the longest stint.
Yeah.
But you've been around cats who've done time.
Yeah, man. In total, I spent 12 years in. I wasn't as smart as you, right? I had to learn the hard way.
I will give it the grace and mercy of God.
That too. But it took some time for me to figure it out. The book basically is about mental health and mental health and trauma as it relates to violence. It's centered around my former cellmate and myself. While we were in federal prison 20 years ago, we talked a lot about getting out, doing the right thing, turning our lives around, taking care of our family, taking care of our children. And he got released. I never heard from him again. 2 years later, I got released. And while I was writing the first book, I Googled him one day. And this big article came up about how he committed a double murder in Dover, Delaware, killed 2 people. And I was just shocked about it, man, because I was just trying to understand where did things go wrong.
You didn't see him going that way. You saw him going maybe back to some type of normalcy.
Normalcy, that's what I saw. And that's all we talked about. We never talked about no crazy stuff. We certainly didn't talk about getting out of prison and committing another crime. And so when I found out, I was just shocked about it. I couldn't believe it. But I was so shocked that I decided to start researching the case. And ultimately, I was able to interview the prosecutor in the case, because this has been about 7 years in of me being a 3-time writer, journalist. And so I was able to get an interview with the prosecutor for the book. And I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't know prior.
You were looking for his trigger. You wanted to look at what caused him to go far left.
That, but I also wanted to get the whole picture, right? Because a lot of times, man, we throw around these terms about mental health and trauma, and for a lot of us, they're just words, right? I wanted to really dig and really get an understanding of what that really meant. So in talking to the prosecutor, that's when I really learned about his mental health, the issues that he dealt with. But then later, I interviewed a psychologist and really dug deeper into the issue of mental health, unresolved trauma, being re-traumatized, right? It was something that we sometimes call triggers, right? And how poor choices are tied to unresolved trauma, right? We both know people, men and women, constantly on this hamster wheel, bad choices after bad choices after bad choices. Good people, good hearts, super intelligent. And so the more and more I learned about trauma, the more and more I wanted to write even more about it, speak even more about it, and hopefully this book will help educate some people and get them moving forward. And
what's unique about this is that you could be considered a street general.
At the time, yeah.
But now you're looking at the trauma, the damage.
You know what? I remember selling heroin in West Baltimore and making almost $25,000 a day. Right?
Is that the kind of money you have to weigh on a scale because it's too much to count?
Nah, but it's the kind of money that I never felt good about it. I was never happy about it. To be crazy as it may seem, I hated it. I hated selling poison to black people, right? And I was always looking for a way out. But at 23 years old, I never thought of what do you do at 23 years old? We can make $25,000 a day, right? A lot of people think money brings happiness. It's totally not the case, right?
No. That's the track we're on. Money, money, money.
Well,
and I don't care who I got to step on to get it.
It's the track a lot of people just haven't evolved on, right? So money is great. Don't get me wrong. I ain't no fool. But it doesn't bring you the ultimate happiness, right? I was worth $1 million at 23 years old. I hated it. I hate having to look over my shoulder. You don't have friends in that game, right? People say that's my homie. Your homie, he'll do some stuff to you.
He'll snitch you out for $5.
Well, forget about the snitching. He'll do something to your mother that a guy across the street could never get that close, right? And I'm talking about from experience. So for me, at that age, I hated it. I hated selling poison to black people in the streets. And so now, even looking back at my mental state at that time and writing about the trauma that I endured, right? And I wasn't no victim, right? But being shot at or being almost murdered, those aren't things you just forget overnight.
I want you to tell them about that teacher. You knew I was going to ask about your teacher. That was my favorite teacher in your story, the lady who prompted you to write.
So you're talking about the gifted and talented education program.
Yeah.
And that's and that's when I speak about, I gotta talk about it, and I'm glad you prompted me on that. I was a pretty super smart kid, right? In the 3rd grade, I was reading Shakespeare. Didn't know what it meant, but we were reading it. And so I was a pretty smart kid, and a teacher took a liking to me. She saw something that, of course, I didn't see in the 3rd grade. And I was on a trajectory of just being a pretty smart student. But the addiction in my own household, my father was a chronic alcoholic. And I'm not just talking about your regular alcoholic, I'm talking about chronic disease of addiction. And it turned, and at 15, 16, instead of me looking in the household for role models and a man in my life that could help me put me on the right track, I was looking in the streets in all the wrong places, at all the wrong faces, right? I'm just not one of them guys that look at the streets and kind of big up it, you know what I mean? I prefer the young people get an education, right? If you want to be anything in life, the trajectory that you need to be on is education, not looking towards the streets for role models. That's not a role model, right? A role model might be the baker, could be the Uber driver, the priest, the teacher, the counselor, but people with more fiber that young people can learn real lessons from, right?
Kev, what can we tell the young people standing on the corner of Pennsylvania and Lawrence right now?
I'm not sure, man. I had to learn the hard way. I could tell you what I could tell the kid that's in Dunbar High School. I can tell you I can tell the kid in Emerson High School. I can tell you what I can tell the kid that's at City High School, right? To keep going, to stay on that path. Sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. That's just the reality, right?
I know, but we are 40% of the people in prison, black men alone. We're only 15% of the population, but nearly 40% of the people in prison, black men. We need an accelerated attack in order to reverse this
for sure
slavery.
But also, keep this in mind, right? 95% of the people that are in prison will make it back to the streets one day, right? What tools are we giving them so when they do get out, that they can be productive citizens?
I don't know what tools, because the people who run the prisons seem to make money off of our presence.
Well, you got to get past that, right? Because if you sitting around waiting for these folks to educate you, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. I took 12 years. I read every day. I took college courses too in the joint. But I didn't wait for somebody to tell me, okay, now we're going to educate you. I read books. I got books sent in. I took books from other inmates when I had the chance. Other inmates would send me books. I would send them books. I got a job in the education building in the federal prison just to be close to books. Because in the federal prison, you can only, in the federal prison, if you're working in the education building, you have access to all the books that you want.
Why should people buy this book?
I think it's a book that will enlighten a lot of folks about the issue of mental health, like me and you always talk about, right?
Because we all confronted with it. Everybody. Nobody's immune.
Nobody's immune. And when you think you're immune, that's when the problems happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There were times I thought I was immune, right? Trauma, unresolved trauma, being re-traumatized. You have to confront these issues. If not, you're never going to get to the place in life that you really want to be. And so when you talk about even the guys on the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue, right? Those are hard conversations we're gonna have to have. Have you been re-traumatized? First of all, just talking to black men openly about their pain is a hurdle that we just struggle to get over. Because I can't help you if I don't know your pain.
And you can't get help unless you tell somebody about it.
And we do a good job of camouflaging it.
Yeah. We gotta run. I know we could do this forever.
Yeah.
A Life for Life by Kevin Shird. Stay tuned to the Doni Glover Show. We'll be back in a minute.
At Fulton Bank, we're personally invested in every community we serve. So sometimes we're big in small ways, like finding a way to get Crystal and Dan a mortgage before the baby arrived. Other times we're small in big ways, like local decision-making and financial coaching that helped Fernando open his own shop. Fulton Bank, a community bank that's big and small in all the right ways.
I was very fortunate and blessed to be able to purchase a house, and then in the meantime, walk into quite a bit of equity. Thank you so much, Calvin. You've been a blessing. I really, really have appreciated everything that you have done to, help me along on this journey, because I just believe that God orders our steps, and I'm just grateful that He brought you into our lives. That's it.
All right, welcome back to Boss Ladies of Baltimore. You're here with Saida Spinner, and I'm here with Dr. Pam Love, powerhouse of a woman. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Pam. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Saida.
Thank you for letting me call you Pam, because I'm kind of wanting to say doctor because you've earned it, but you said Pam, so I'm going to be respectful.
Yes, I'm good. I am good. Had a mentor who told me titles are what we earn, they're not who we are.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's jump right into all of the good stuff.
Let's do it.
Tell us about, let's start with your book, because I love the title.
Okay.
Please tell us about I Want My Vagina Back, because I feel the same.
I think a lot of women do. I Want My Vagina Back is a book that I wrote in response to the cry of many women who had a lot of regrets.
Wow.
And so this book contains stories of women that range everything from same-sex relationship to molestation. Mm-hmm. And all of them are basically saying they had regrets. If they could go and knock on some doors and go back and retrieve their vagina, they would, but you can't. So at the end of each chapter are stories or questions that are designed to stimulate discussion. What's the value of your vagina to you? Why do you say yes when you really want to say no? And then at the end of the book is encouraging women to become clear about your values, because if you align your values and your actions, you minimize your regrets.
Amazing. Why do you say yes when you really want to say no?
Absolutely.
More importantly, what's the value of your vagina to you? All right, now you know I have to ask you that.
Priceless.
What's the value of the VJ, girl?
Priceless. 100%.
Okay, and this is what you're teaching.
Yes.
Speaking of teaching, I know you've mentioned you've been a professor, you're a coach, you're a minister, you're all the things. How have you been able to manage all of these hats?
It is having a great support system.
Okay.
It really is. It's about time management. It's having wonderful people around you. It's my faith, of course, to be able to guide me and to keep me focused.
Yeah.
So it's all of those things.
Faith. Speaking of faith, obviously your journey has been very, eventful. I know that women often mention this, like, come to Jesus moment. Tell us about your come to Jesus moment. Did you have one?
I've had a number.
Okay.
I think we have a number throughout our lives, but yes, I think that come to Jesus moment for me was when I realized I was shrinking instead of shining.
Oh.
I had
Yes.
I felt like I had backed up into a box, and it was as the result of people around me, people who were competing, people who were really wanting me to not shine.
Yeah.
And so I was shrinking. And so once I realized that, and it was a conversation I had with someone that really helped me to realize I was shrinking and how I was shrinking. That was my moment that I had to figure out how to step out of that box.
Amazing. Wow. Okay. So you said people did not want you to succeed. So we have some haters.
Of course.
What do we do about, like, as women, that's a thing. And I mean, as much as I can't stand it for us, and I'm truly a girl's girl, I know you're a girl's girl. What do you do about that? And how would you tell other women how to show up in rooms where they know they're being hated on, when they know people don't want them to succeed?
So for me, what I do is for an audience of one. And that's what I would tell women. If you stop comparing yourself to others or allowing others to compare themselves to you, whatever they want to say, they're going to say something good, they're going to say something bad, it doesn't matter. Be who you were created to be. And walk in your confidence, shine. Don't let anybody cause you to shrink. No one to dim your light. You have to shine, because what you do impacts someone else, and what you don't do impacts someone else.
Yeah. What about when that hate is coming from inside? When there's that voice that's like imposter syndrome, that's like, be quiet, you're not good enough. How did you quiet that voice?
Yeah, I think I've definitely experienced imposter syndrome as a result. I have an early childhood whole list of trauma that I've experienced. And as a result of that,
makes you the expert.
I have experience from life.
Yes.
Not just textbooks. And so as consequently, I can talk to women from a different place. And so that part of imposter syndrome, it's really about self-talk. It's about, for me, scriptures. It's about great support.
Yeah.
It's for, having people to remind me that you're not your circumstances.
Yeah.
Don't be defined by your circumstances. You're better than that, to help me to rise above. So for me, it's affirmations. It's just, really reminding myself of who I am and whose I am.
Amazing. Whose I am. I know that's right. Amen. All right. So you told me about a business that you have. It's called
DP Love Enterprises.
Yep.
Yes.
And that is for?
So that is for leadership consulting, coaching, and training.
Okay.
So I do a lot of work with, my main focus is women's empowerment, though.
Yes.
That's my heart work.
Obviously, we can tell. I'm empowered right now.
That's my heart work. So
Okay.
that's what I do. But I coach executives, I coach managers, I do a lot of management training. I've developed a mentoring program for organizations, and so that's what we do. I have something called the Finishers Network. That's a division of my company, helping people disrupt excuses and finish what they start. We start a lot of things, but we don't finish them.
The finishers. Okay, I want to be a finisher. Tell me, and maybe some other women that are watching, how can we show up as a finisher?
Part of it is really understanding what it is that's keeping you stuck.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you need help. People think they have high self-awareness. Many people don't. So it's really helping individuals to explore, to get to understand your blind spots.
Yes.
You do mental health, so you may be familiar with the Johari window to help people.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Speaking my language?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yep.
I love that, because you really help women or individuals in general just to know what people need to know about you that they may not know about you, but then what are your blind spots? So
Absolutely.
increasing that self-awareness is really important.
Yeah.
But then once you identify the obstacles that are in your life, then let's help you move forward. What do you need? Do you need support? Do you need resources? Do you need information? So we customize it to help individuals to finish what they start.
Dr. Pam Love, we needed you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I've gotten a whole list of things now for homework that I need to go home and do based on all of the great tips you've given. We appreciate you. Please tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on Facebook, Pam Love. I'm also, if you can look at the Finishers Network, but go to dploveenterprises.com, again, dploveenterprises.com, or send me a message at finishersnetwork@gmail.com.
Okay, guys, I'm sending that message as soon as we get off camera. And thank you again today for joining Boss Ladies of Baltimore. Dr. Pam Love, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
All right. It was a pleasure.
Well, this has been one heck of a show. Thank you for your support. Thank you to Ronnie Griffin of G. Grant Griffin Media, also to Calvin Watkins of Chosen Media. We're all about supporting the businesses in our ecosystem. And if you have a show idea, also special thank you to Saeed the Spinner. But if you have a show idea, do email us, Donnie@BMoreNews.com. We're also on weekdays, Monday through Friday, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So do follow us, Doni Glover. And of course, BMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.